Hey y'all, welcome back to Goblin, our 1985 Catalina 30 tall rig. It's November 7th now, and it's that time of year we have to start getting things ready for haul out because we're up in Cleveland, Ohio. So winter sucks, and this is gonna be the year that we don't miss anything on the winterization checklist. So I've started going through and putting together a list of what we need to do today. First priority is going to be getting the sails off because it's going to start snowing, we think, tomorrow. Then we need to take the boom off because, again, I don't want to be doing that once it's icy. We need to get antifreeze in the freshwater system everywhere. We need to empty the fridge and the icebox and, in general, get all the crap out of the boat because we've got a lot of projects to do this winter and now's the time to do it. We've got to do an oil change and change the oil filter. I think that covers most of the list. I think it's time to go outside, start getting the sails off, start getting the boom off, and get the process moving before it gets cold and raining and snowing. So we're outside. We're going to start with the headsail because that's the one that's going to suck the worst, I think. That was not too bad, actually. On to the main. Okay, so we've got the main off, we've got the Genoa off. Time to pull some of the running rigging that we aren't going to need anymore. So I'm going to pull the sheets for the Genoa. I'm going to pull the reefing lines and just kind of start getting things a little bit tidied up. Okay, so now that we've got everything that we really need to get done outside, we've got our sails inside, ready to go to the car when we get over to the riverfront. We've got our battens, those long fiberglass pieces we pulled out of the main. So it's time to start the process of winterizing the plumbing. But to do that, we need a lot more of the pink stuff. And when I talk about the pink stuff, I'm talking about this, which is RV antifreeze. And I'm gonna go to Menards, get a bunch more of it. And we're going to put it in the sinks. We're going to put it in the water tanks. Should probably start running the water tanks so we get all the water out of them. We're going to put it in the head, basically anywhere that we don't want to freeze. And one of the things that I want to remember this year is this sink, because we've got the main sink, which we always remember, but there's also this shower outlet, and that is what froze last year, which was a huge, huge problem. Okay, so we've got our antifreeze, we've got our bins, we've got our oil somewhere. We're just gonna get all this stuff out of the boat. So this is gonna go in the sinks, it's gonna go in the head, and eventually it's gonna go in the engine once we do the raw water system coming up once we motor up the river. So let's just go ahead and get started. We're gonna start by draining all of the water tanks. So we have this sink set up in a kind of weird way. Normally, the water from this sink, instead of going straight out this through hole that's down here, we send it through to the toilet for flush. But right now I'm trying to drain the system, so what we're going to do instead is open this up and let the water drain out into the lake. And what we're looking for is emptying out our water tanks. So we've got a water tank here, under the settee. And I'm going to need to get a wrench to open that up. Take a look. And then there's another one underneath this bird. It's really hard to see the water level on, but it is down here. And you can see it's getting close to empty. So we're going to keep going until these are both empty. Once we get through draining the sink out and once we get through draining the tanks out, what we're going to do is we're going to start putting antifreeze into the tanks so that the pump system starts pulling from the tanks, pulls the antifreeze through the entire system until we see it running out from the sinks. Now, one thing that we're going to have to remember this year as we keep draining the system is that we also have water filtration down under here. So what I'm probably going to do is pull the water filter out of there There's our carbon filter. In the meantime, while the sinks are still draining, we can also start emptying out all of the other compartments that we need to get all the crap out of. So we'll start with that. I know I'm going to regret taking some of these snacks off when I'm here working over the winter, but better to inventory what's good and what's bad than send it back. The water pump is starting to dribble, as we can see right there. So it's getting close to be time. So you can see we're running out of water pressure in both hot and cold. So you can see that our water tanks are basically empty. We're going to get our pink goo and see what happens when we start pouring this into the tanks. You can see this is starting to go pink and smell like antifreeze. It's about one container in. Clean up a little bit of the drips. Time for the forward tank. I'm going to pull up these cushions. So this hatch right here opens into the forward bilge, and if we look down inside there, you can see there's our tank. Okay, now that we've got antifreeze in both the front and the side tanks, we are going to run the sink a little bit until we get pink, which this one is very clearly pink, hot and cold. We'll do the head. There we go, there's our pink, hot and cold. Great. So what we'll do then here is close this through hole up, which will let us run pink through the system and through to our flush. There's our pink. Now I also want to get the tank, so we'll probably put a whole gallon in. Okay, so that one's all good. So the last thing is this shower. Just a quick attach. Same thing, hot and cold, we want pink. I think we're good there. Okay, since yesterday, it has dropped about 10 degrees. It's raining. It's blowing 28 knots out of the northeast. Today we've got to do the oil change. I got my oil extractor, I've got the oil, I've got the oil filter, a little bit of just general tidying still. I think that's pretty much it. But I've got to clean up, tidy up a little bit before we get the engine open up so we don't get oil on all of the nice fabric. Okay, so this is Goblin's engine. It's a Universal M25 XP, and what we're going to be doing today is using this black hose right here. So that goes straight to the bottom of the oil pan. So what we're going to do is just loosen up that top nut, and we'll stick the oil extractor straight into there. Now, before we do that, we should probably warm the engine up a little bit. As far as starting the engine from down here, because we have the digital switching system that I can access from outside, or I can do from the chart plotter, we also have these overrides. So these are independent of the digital switching system. They directly hook up to the relays, and it's 1, 2, so 1 is ignition, 2 is glow, 3 is start. As long as I don't have the stop pulled, should be good to go. So let's go ahead and start the engine. You can hear the click of the fuel pump over there, and that's my low oil pressure alarm, so that's what we're expecting. We'll glow for a couple seconds. Give it a little gas. There we go. It's quite cold, so let's let the engine warm up a little bit and then we'll get going. Now I have no desire to go outside, but we do need to check that there's raw water pumping, because this would be a dumb way to blow up the engine. And we're good. Okay, coolant temp's at 120, so we're probably good to kill the engine now. It's gonna be warm enough for the oil. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the ignition off, throttle down, and pull the stop. So we've got the dipstick tube here. Well, sorry, we've got the oil extraction tube, so this goes straight to the bottom of the oil pan. And we're just gonna open this up. Okay, time to oil extract. This then goes in here. Okay, nice and snug. And this goes into our hose, which doesn't quite fit. There's almost nothing that can't be done with aluminum tape, including cutting your fingers to shreds. And there we go. Oil hot and fresh. So the next step is going to be doing the oil filter, which is an absolute pain in the ass on this engine. So to get to the oil filter, we have to go down below the alternator. It's way underneath here, and we can really only get to it from the front. There it is, oil filter. Now to do that, I tend to like to take this door off. That makes this process a little bit easier. Get some paper towels ready. Did not have enough paper towels ready. I just like to doff my gloves straight on to the filter. There we go. Okay, so the next step is going to be to put the new oil filter on, which we got one right here. We have to fill it a little bit with oil and lubricate the seal on the top. So getting the oil filter back on was much more of a pain than taking it off, and I'll show you why. So right here, the alternator bracket and the oil filter come really close together. In fact, are touching right now, so I need to tighten that up a little bit more. But basically, the old filter did not have that problem. So this Wix filter is just a hair longer, which means that we definitely want to go with the Fram one next time, because that's not going to work. Okay, we've got the new oil in. Moment of truth. Let me try starting it up. It's a really good sign when the engine immediately sounds happier. So, last step, check the oil level. You're basically dead center right now. It's perfect. Now, while I've been doing this oil change, I noticed something. This fuel filter bracket is broken again, which we replaced 2 years ago. So we're gonna need to rebuild that bracket this year too. So it is now time to go up the river, and there is snow on the boat. All over the place. And it's blowing 15, sometimes up to 20. So we have to back out of the slip in this without running into that post. And then we need to make it through all the bridges up the river. But yeah, this is gonna be an adventure. So we are here at Riverfront the morning of haul out. Basically, that crane right there is going to lift the boat out of the water. And I think the white crane up there is going to be used to pull the mast off. Actually, I never had the rig pulled here before. We're going to disconnect all the shrouds, disconnect the forestay, disconnect the backstay, lift the mast up, put it on the ground, and then lift the boat up out of the water. One of the things that I'm interested in today is whether there is damage to the keel. Because during the delivery back from the Mackinac race this year, we stopped in Colchester in Canada because there was a huge storm coming across. That channel was much shallower than was shown on the chart because mud and sand and other things had built up in that channel because it's like where all the water gets funneled through entering into the harbor. We ran aground a little bit and I haven't had a chance to dive on the keel since. So we're gonna see. We'll see when the boat comes out of the water and we'll hand to it if we have to. The next thing to do before the yard guys get here is winterize the engines. So basically we're gonna replace what normally would be lake water with coolant so that all the stuff that's full of lake water is instead full of something that can't freeze. And with that, we are officially winterized and out of the water. So if you like following along as we go through the process of owning this boat and winterizing it and repairing it and starting the projects for this winter, go ahead and subscribe. If you have any comments about how we're doing things or if you have any suggestions about what we could be doing better, please leave a comment. We really appreciate getting feedback. And yeah, we'll see you next week as we get started for real on all these winter projects that we have on the books. See ya.